Why, welcome. Welcome to the Deadbeat Podcast, starring me, your co host, Rodney Brown. And you may be wondering where the other co host is today, Ken Saft. Well, he is unable to join us. He had prior commitments, so that leaves us. I hope you all had a really good week, good couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on the air. And I want to thank you, first of all, for joining me today on this live podcast. That's right, this should be going over the airwaves live. And that means that, who knows, maybe someone is watching. I hope so. And that means that you can chat live with me if you feel so inclined to do so. Well, let's see here. Without Kenny Saft, the other co-host, it feels like, boy, what am I going to talk about this whole 22 minutes? First, I want to say that I am happy to be coming to you live, and I forgot what I was going to say. I'm just happy to be coming to you live, that's for sure. And I'm happy to be giving you another show. That's also for sure. So thanks a lot for joining me. Of course, this podcast, the Deadbeat Podcast, is dedicated to the Grateful Dead, conversation and studies on them. But we also talk about other shows that we may have attended. We talk about things of that nature. And I wanted to stress, that's right, that's what I was going to say. I'm unscripted. Now, some of you may not like that, from what I understand. You may not like the fact that we are unscripted. I have a really good friend that is shared a broadcast major with me in college, and she does scripted shows, and I don't want to incriminate her by mentioning her name, but she told me that she really can't deal with unscripted material. It has to be scripted for her to appreciate it. And when she said that, I thought, oh no, there's probably a lot of other people that are just like her, and they just don't appreciate unscripted material. And so, unfortunately, that's the way I like to do it. I like to perform things unscripted. And from what I understand, well, from what I foresee in the future, I foresee a lot more unscripted material in the future. I think everybody's going to eventually call the bluff on most broadcasts material that you see these days. And, well, not only these days, ever since television was invented. You've had the scripted show where we're all supposed to pretend that this is all happening for real, and then we get a sponsors in there, scripted sponsors. Everything's scripted. I am on this unscripted crusade. That's right, and it's taking a chance because even I feel that I'm going to run out of things to talk about. But if you see me glancing around, that's because I am kind of new to going live. I'm actually new to the podcast. I have a television show on Pasadena Media. It's All About Me TV. Yes, that's the title of the show. And it airs on Mondays at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. on Pasadena Media's Arroyo channel. And that's that. So I do that. I produce, direct, host, hence It's All About Me TV. I do everything, and I am used to that. So this is kind of new. This podcast thing is pretty new to me, and to go live on the podcast is relatively new to me as well. So you may ask, what are you going to chat about for the next probably 18 minutes? And the answer is, I'm not really too sure. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. Improvising, that's what we call it. So, oh yeah, I saw a couple shows this past week. I saw some really good rock and roll at the Hollywood Bowl. Oh, it's a Saturday afternoon, by the way. And we're in downtown Los Angeles at the library. The public library has this facility, which I thank them for allowing us to use it. And it's interesting. I was just watching a show right before I came in, and actually it was Saturday mornings on CBS, and they were talking about the happiest places to live as voted by, I don't know, Time Magazine or someone, but they voted for the happiest places that are livable. And number one was Finland. And I guess they've been number one for about 4 years now. And I say to myself, how can they be that happy with the harsh winters and the dark winters? But what they came to the conclusion is that they're content. It's not so much that they're joyous and happy, ha ha ha, laughing all the time, but they're content with what they have. And that is another form of happiness. And that sounds good. That sounds pretty good. That's a good way to measure happiness, is how content are we with what we have. And so they do, the reason I'm bringing this up is they gave a tour of their library in Helsinki, downtown Helsinki library. And they offer a plethora of services to their customers. And it reminded me of this library, downtown Los Angeles, where we have this podcast studio. So it's all fine and dandy and great. And I just want to let you know that I am going live right now. So I'm hoping that you will text me or chat with me. And if you're live right now on my website, well, then you know all you have to do is chat since I'm live. I think that's the way it works. I haven't done live shows on YouTube before. This is the first one. Actually, we did one about a month ago, and there was no audio. So that was my fault too. Kenny, to this day, I apologize. My co-host, I apologize to him that happened. So I came in early today to set up the podcast for live broadcast, and let's see if it happened. Oh, I'm hoping I won't know for about maybe 10 more minutes when we're done with this particular podcast. But what I did do to help kind of move things along, I was going to tell you about the shows I saw. One was Neil Young and the Chrome Hearts. And oh boy, that was such a good show. It was so good. Neil Young was in top form. His guitar playing and his singing. And it was just a really all around great show. Great seats, right smack dab in the middle, a little far back, but smack dab in the middle. I love that. I love being right in the center. I feel like I get an equal balance of the sound by being there. And so there's that. And he played just great selections from his sound book. And it was really great. One song that stood out to me, I mean, a lot of them were great. Harvest Moon was great. Hey, Hey, My. Oh, my goodness. Rocked the house down with that one. Like a Hurricane. That was really great. But one that I noticed was interesting, and I never really heard it much. It's called Big Crime. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he sings in there, there's big crime in D.C. at the White House. No more great again. No more great again. There's big crime in D.C. at the White House. I love that one. Oh, God. I thought he has a lot of guts to go out there and sing this song in today's climate. And I'm happy nobody's complaining about it. That would just be terrible if an artist can't go out there and sing what they want to sing. And so I want to give a shout out to Jimmy Kimmel because he represents all of our voices, really, and especially broadcasting people like me and my friend Kenny, who's not here today. See, empty seat. He'll be back next time. We should be in business in a week or two. And so, once again, I am live. That's right. This podcast is being brought to you live. And I'm your co-host of the Deadbeat Podcast. My name is Rodney Brown. Excuse me. Boy, I got some dust in my throat. Thanks for bearing with me. That's what happens when you're live. Of course, once you feel like a scratch in your throat, panic sets in. Because it's like, oh my God, I'm live. I'm going to have to cough right on the air just like I just did. But, oh, I'm so happy I had that bottle of water. That way, I can tame the beast. Yeah, so there's big crime in D.C. at the White House. That was Neil Young. So the other show that I saw Neil Young last Monday, September 15th. Actually, it was almost 2 weeks ago. And I saw him. It was great. Then that Friday, which was, I think, the 19th, I saw The Who. And, the seats weren't quite as centered, but I really liked that show. I really liked that show because it was just hit after hit after hit. It was their quote-unquote farewell tour. The music's over. Or the song is over. The song is over. Yeah, that's the name of the song. That was the last song they did that night. Besides Tea and Theater, which I was already on my way to the shuttle at the Hollywood Bowl. Those of you that know the Hollywood Bowl, there's these shuttles that take you there to and from there. You park your car. It's like a park and ride type thing. And you park your car and they shuttle you to the Hollywood Bowl. Well, always after the show, I always get anxious to get back to that shuttle. So I didn't quite stay till the end of the show. I didn't stay for the last encore, but they really jammed. And Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, I guess some people are calling the tour the Two instead of the Who because it kind of focuses on them. Although Pete Townsend's brother, Simon Townsend, sang a great rendition of Going Mobile, which they said they never really played that live until this tour. And he's the one that carries it. He's the one that sings it. And oh, what a job he did at that. But going back to Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, I know this show is supposed to be mainly about the Grateful Dead, but these are some shows I saw. Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey, yes, they were in top form. Their voices were tip-top shape. I was so impressed. They're in their late 70s, early 80s. And oh my goodness, they were just so great. And Roger Daltrey, the song Love, Rain, O'er Me, oh, that was just lovely. Out There Under the Stars, it was just really an amazing demonstration of his vocal chops. It was just great. It really brought the house down. It really just put chills all over my body. It was that kind of a performance. So Neil Young and The Who, two really great shows that I've seen. Now, I don't know what's the difference on my screen. I have concurrent viewers and I have views. I guess that's how many people are listening. Concurrent viewers. And then the views, they view the channel, I guess. Okay, anyway, I know I'm getting closer to the end of this specific broadcast. I have about 5 more minutes left. I was going to speak about this book, Loud and Clear, The Grateful Dead, Wall of Sound, and the Quest for Audio Perfection, and by Brian Anderson. And I'm not going to get a chance to really do that. I'll just read the little liner notes here at the beginning. 28,000 watts, 600 speakers, 48 amplifiers, 10 band members, 1 wall of sound. Loud and Clear is the first book to tell the full story of the Grateful Dead's Wall of Sound, an unprecedented and since unparalleled speaker system that was as tall as a school bus, is long, and more than 100 feet wide. The band's quest for roaring, yet crystal clear sound began after their formation in 1965, colliding with the 60s progressive social climate. So I may stick around here for another episode, which I will post to YouTube, and I'll read some more excerpts from this book, Loud and Clear. I just wanted to mention, they had mentioned that these were unparalleled experiments in sound at the time. And yes, unprecedented, unparalleled. However, I just wanted to give a shout out to Sphere Las Vegas, because the sound there was unparalleled. It's unprecedented sound there. From what I understand, they have omnidirectional speakers that are aimed at every single seat in the house. And so you get surround sound too. Not only do you get the sound coming at you from the front, but there's also sound behind you, which I was very impressed with. The only concert rock show I'd ever seen that they paid that much attention to the sound was Pink Floyd The Wall. And that one, they had speakers in back, and it was a surround sound experience. And so those are the only two bands that I ever really noticed cared about the sound or cared about their audience enough to care about this, what their audience was experiencing. I think most bands, especially in rock, unfortunately, are in it for the money. Now, I want to go back to The Who. They had killer sound there at the Hollywood Bowl. In fact, I've been to quite a few shows at the Hollywood Bowl, and The Who had some of the best sound I've ever heard there. So the top tier bands, The Who, The Dead, Pink Floyd, these bands, they care about what their audience is experiencing. They care about the sound. But there's a lot of groups out there that just could care less about what the sound is going out. And like in the late 50s, early 60s, they didn't care. And that's why when the Dead came along, they got so much attention from fans because they cared about what their fans were hearing. But going back to the bands that don't care, there are a plethora of them, and I think that they're in it for the money, and then it's a just cash grab, and they grab it and leave. I've seen the Stones and I've seen Bruce Springsteen. Their sound, it didn't really resonate. It didn't leave a memorable impression on me. Those are other top tier groups that you would think would care about their sound. And I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm just saying the big ones for me were Pink Floyd, The Who, and, of course, the Grateful Dead. So if you want to stick around, well, I'm not going to be live, so you're not going to be able to stick around for another half hour with me. But I'm so thankful that you were able to be with me today. I'm very thankful for that. And I'm thankful for all of you out there listening. I can see how many of you are out there. Didn't get any chats. Didn't get any chat questions or anything. But that's okay. As long as you're listening, you don't have to participate. You don't have to participate. Only listen and watch. So, on behalf of my dear friend and co-host, Kenny Saft, who will be here with us next time, the next adventure that we have, the next journey we take together. On behalf of him and on behalf of me, your co-host, Rodney Brown, and on behalf of us at the Deadbeat Podcast, we wish you a continued great day and enjoy your weekend. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.